Guys, do you think that Jaro Tapal is kind of Christ-like?
Start your sublight engines. It's time for RuPaul's Pod Race, a queer Star Wars podcast. Welcome to our discussion of the penultimate episode of The Mandalorian Season 3, The Spies. I'm Noah, my pronouns are he, him, and you can find me on social media at The Jewish Jedi. And my gender this week is Din Katan Truth Convert, because I started to see the vision. I'll be real, I started to see the vision. I'm just saying, there's something very sexy about chivalry. And when Din in this episode is like, your song is not yet written, I will serve you till it is, or whatever the hell he says, that was very hot to me, personally. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, I see the vision, and I support it, and I think it's actually quite slayful.
My name is Mel. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on social media at Melvin Culpa and on TikTok at Grunkle Rex. And my gender this week is Settlers of Bo-Katan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's... you've been waiting to do that, haven't you?
I have. I said it while we were watching the episode, and I was like, that's my gender this week. Dibs. It was almost, my gender was almost past Visa. However, I saw someone on Twitter say it, so can't do that.
They were playing board games.
And Axe Wolves was being xenophobe about it. Damn!
Axe Wolves, hateful again.
No, because here's the problem. Last episode, I was like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck about him. Just that he's there is, like, funny to me. Here's the problem. I watched this episode, and I said, actually, no, I do. I hate to say it. I know this man. I know him. He is my friend, and he's just needs to unpack some of his internalized Mandalorian xenophobia.
Yeah, I agree. I found myself coming to favor him. Speaking of, my name is Ollie. I use any pronouns. You can find me on social media at Ollie Fresh. It's Fresh with a PH. And my gender this week is help me, Axe Wolves. You're my only hope.
No.
Because I'm sorry, Axe Wolves being like, guys, I'm gonna go get help. Hang on. If he turns out to be the spy, I will start crying.
He's gotta be.
No, he doesn't, Claudia. I'm just saying, when he is the reason that those children still on the ship get to be fine, then you all are gonna be fucking sorry that you doubted him.
Yeah, why do you hate Greek people, Claudia?
It's a Mediterranean on Mediterranean crime because of my Italian ex heritage.
Guys, also, I just have to add, Simon Cassianides on Instagram is a menace. He is the funniest man. He gets it. Did you guys see that interview where he was like, someone was like, well, how do you feel about, like, how does putting on, like, the armor make you feel? And he's like, well, you know, I'm Greek, right? So it kind of awakens something, like, genetically in me. You know,
That
I feel
so
powerful.
wild of him. He was like,
like,
Sparta.
He's the realest bitch in here. I need more of him. He can't. Axe Wolves can't be a traitor. He can't be
Axe
the bad
Wolves, a
guy.
Star Wars story. I'm saying, hear my prayers. Dave Filoni, retcon the sequels with Wolves, a Star Wars story.
It's not too late, Dave. Make the right choice.
Watch for Wolves is back.
It's more like now that he's back, it's just watching Wolves.
Hi, my name is Claudia. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on social media at Kaludia Says, Kaludia Says. My gender this week, Jess and I discussed it earlier, and we realized we were about to have pretty much the same gender. It is inspired by my friend Mars, and also inspired by a prophetic conversation that Ollie and I had the night before this episode aired, and then I went, holy shit, we predicted it.
We were having this exact conversation.
Like, I recently watched a very good TV show. It's called Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury, and I was telling Ollie the entire plot of it, and I went, have there ever been any Gundams or any mechas or anything like that in Star Wars? And we couldn't think of any. And then the next day, we got Mobile Suit Grogu.
I forgot about Zetar from the High Republic, guys. I'm a fake fan. I know, I'm sorry.
The Anzellans have done it. Like, Midnight Horizon reference, Mobile Suit Grogu, not clickbait. Oh wait, it's not Midnight Horizon, is it?
Yeah,
no,
I was about
it's
to say,
Wicked
he's
not.
in Midnight Horizon.
The Anzellin in Midnight Horizon does pilot the little thing. He does.
That is true. I was thinking more about Zetar.
You're right.
And Lorna.
And Lorna.
Okay, I digress. We were still talking about they needed more mechas in the High Republic, and then Grogu was like, and what if I What if I obliged?
Yeah, and I will say also, what my friend Mars said was, get in the robot Grogu, and that does make Grief Karga Gendo Ikari. And then I went on a whole, not to be a whole thing of like, but if you think about it, like if you know anything about Evangelion, it's like highly implied that the angels are given the souls of the pilot's mothers. And if you think about it, it's kind of like how they took out IG-11's entire personality and put Grogu in it to pilot him. So anyway, when is Grogu gonna trigger the third impact?
That is kind of fucked up, huh?
I would also like to ask, when is someone going to draw Grogu sitting in that fucked up little folding chair under a spotlight? I need that image now. I feel like that picture is like spiritually similar to insert character here dying in a glue trap. I don't know why. I just feel like in my brain those two are like connected somehow.
Has anyone drawn Axwos dying in a glue trap?
I don't think so, but they should.
Someone should do Paz Vizsla, obviously.
Yes! We need Paz Vizsla dying in a glue trap.
That's actually how he really died. The floor, you guys couldn't see it,
Yeah.
but like a little trap door opened and then he fell over and got stuck in the glue trap.
Moff Gideon's glue trap should be my alternate gender.
I do love the idea of them being like, Moff Gideon has so many like cunning traps and blasters and whatnot, and then they're like, oh fuck, a glue trap, our one real weakness.
Oh no, it might not be able to cut through Beskar, but it can sure as hell stop it.
I'm still wondering, like, how did the Beskar like come off as a little piece when they were rescuing him? Like, I have
Because they're
questions.
flop, I guess.
Well, 'cause I
Wow,
guess
they
it's 'cause
like
it's-
don't know the true Mandalorian way of forging the Beskar.
That's true. He's basically doing Mandalorian cosplay with like a shit ass like Beskar alloy basically, and like not using the forge or anything. And he like, here's my little cosplay, guys. And then the
No,
Mandalorians are
because
like,
his helmet did have like little horns on it too. I see you.
he
Like I
was doing
said,
cosplay.
He's also fucking like, yeah, pre-Vizsla coded motherfucker.
He literally was.
I would like to believe that Moff Gideon's little Mandalorian suit isn't even made of Beskar alloy. It's made of like EVA foam or something. He's worked like all weekend on it. He's like, guys, this is my OC. He's parading around the base.
Are you ready for my Star Wars Celebration cosplay?
I'm Jez. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on social media at Kawaii Jessio. And my gender this week is get in the fucking robot, Grogu. Another Evangelion reference.
Oh my god, we win.
Yeah. My other gender had considered was Grogu is Bunny the dog coded. But I did see our other pal Jess J Beans draws the other Jessception going on had also tweeted about Grogu being Bunny the dog coded, and I was like, the brain cell connected there. Good job.
I do love the idea of Grogu's fucking Eva getting like more and more word buttons to the point where he's able to form complex sentences like Bunny the dog. That'd be funny as shit.
That's just an AAC, guys. That's just a regular
exactly.
accessibility device.
Yes.
So true. I was just thinking Grogu saying, "Why is Grogu?" Grogu having fucking not midlife crisis.
Grogu passes the
Identity
Turing
crisis.
test. Not clickbait.
It is so fucked up that they just hollowed his ass out and said, anyway, like, that's like, imagine being another droid and being like, oh god!
They're just piloting his corpse.
Didn't they do that in the Gasker Mebot, like the fucking remember
Oh my
in the
god!
Clone Wars arc
Yes!
with Gregor? They did
When the
that.
fucking- Yeah,
They
they
hollowed
did.
out the astromech so that little fucker can pilot it like a Jaeger.
Oh wow, wasn't it still alive and it just had a compartment for him, or was it gone?
It was gone. He was piloting. I'm pretty
Meeber
sure.
Gascon, I hate you.
Meeber Gascon is Gendo Ikari, not clickbait.
I don't know who that is.
It's
Peace and love,
It's-
and I don't want to
Shinji's-
know.
It's Shinji's shit ass father. He's
I
one of
don't
the
know
top,
who fuck
Top-
Shinji is, and I don't want to know.
Top
You
10
definitely
worst
know who
fathers in
Shinji is.
anime.
Like, by cultural osmosis, you definitely know who
Yeah.
Shinji is.
I've heard the name. I don't know who that is.
He is-
I haven't heard it until today, so
He is the protagonist of Evangelion. He is the little depressed child in the chair.
Don't watch it.
you
Don't
guys
watch it.
keep referencing a little depressed boy in a chair. I'm like, that's just Thrawn, guys.
We can't. No. Anyway, do you guys want to talk about the episode?
I really liked when Grogu was like, I'm going to be a de-escalator.
That was his Jedi era.
No, really, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Grogu has done more for this country than any cop has. When they're like, defund the police, well, who's gonna stop fights? Grogu showed us. Come on, guys.
Fucking, because they're like, should we stop this? And Bo's just like, no, you gotta just let it happen. It's gonna happen either way. And
He's
then
like me with
they're
my
all just
cat.
watching as they're fucking kicking each other's butts, and everyone's just like, should we step in? And they're like, nah. And then Grogu finally is just like, oh my god.
I will also say the whole thing, like, we were joking about how, like, Grogu is the first Mandalorian Jedi in, like, millennia, and the first Mandalorian Jedi created the Darksaber, and that united all of Mandalore. I don't think it's a joke anymore. I do believe that's what's occurring.
Oh, fuck. Grogu. Okay.
I
Okay,
do like
Tara
the
Vizsla.
idea-
Our
No-
Vizsla era.
No, I do also like one thing that I enjoyed about this episode immensely is just that whenever the camera cut to Casca, her expression was like, I hate this bitch. Like,
Yeah.
anytime Axe Woves did anything, she like visibly was like irritated, annoyed, over it. Like, I think that she like stuck with him after the whole like ending of season 2, and then was like every day since then was like, why the fuck did I do that? I made a mistake.
Not to go back to Grogu, Tar Vizsla parallels, but why didn't my brain be like, oh my god, so Grogu and Ragnar Vizsla get married? I'm just like, no, that wouldn't work. Grogu's like a baby still, and like will long outlive fucking Ragnar, and also is aging very slowly, so even when Ragnar becomes an adult, Grogu would still just be like a child, so that doesn't work.
We can't have Grognar age gap discourse on the podcast, guys.
But no, Ragnar has to carry on the Vizsla name now, you realize?
I would like to pivot to talk to the blue elephant in the room, which is Thrawn, because
Who is that?
I don't know who that is.
That conversation that they're having, if you think about it in context of like what we know, is so objectively funny. Okay, think about it like this, all right? So Thrawn disappears right before the Battle of Yavin. That is 5 years before the war ends. This is occurring 5 years after the war ends. It has been 10 years since anybody has fucking seen Thrawn, number one. Other than Pelion, none of those people ever worked with Thrawn. And at this point, they've gotten their ass beat at least twice. At the Battle of Endor and then the Battle of Jakku. So at this point, they're grasping at straws, and they're like, hey, remember that guy who like disappeared, who was like our only competent coworker? You remember that guy? Anybody can somebody go find him? Yeah? Fuck it. I'm running out of ideas. Like, that's literally where they're at right now. And they're like, hey, how's the progress on finding the missing guy? And then they're like, I'll get right to it. Like, it's objectively so funny.
I will also just say, like, I really did giggle and laugh that entire scene. I was like, you people, this is not a shadow council. This is a circus. Like, you people are clowns. First of all, sitting in a circle referring to yourselves as the shadow council is the dorkiest thing maybe ever. And then on top of that being like, we will bring the Empire back, which is even funnier considering that it actually works. Like, we know canonically, like, they do, like, succeed at this goal. But,
well,
like,
they don't. They do
clowns.
get their ass beat in a major film.
Yeah, but don't they successfully reestablish fascism for, like, 3 movies?
They basically, okay, so as someone
I don't
who
know
has
Star Wars lore, I'll be real.
as somebody who has suffered through a lot of the sequel era media that is not that great, this part was interesting to me because basically the First Order eventually is like a military junta, and like, yeah, they start just like occupying worlds or whatever, but they don't reestablish anything that is as big as the Empire. They want to, they have all the gear or whatever, but they don't, and they try to. And what's funny about this is that if this is like the founding of the First Order or whatever, the person who is not there is Ray Sloan. if you don't know who Ray Sloan is, I'm so sorry, because she's the most slayful person. She like I support a black woman's wrongs, and she basically helps found most of the First Order. And it's very funny. All these people who are sitting here flapping in the town square, we know that they are going to fail. We know they're going to flop because we know that her side, she is somewhere in the unknown regions right now, actually building what will become the First Order. So her not being there is funny. So they're all like, we're the Shadow Council, whatever. Like when you said, like, okay, they sound really stupid, like that's something that Ray Sloan has literally almost said in canon. She was like, y'all are clowns. I will say this also comes from my friend Mars, who is so big brain and who doesn't know any, who always goes like, oh, I don't know anything about Star Wars, but just is looking at this objectively. The way that they start the episode with the Empire is always bickering amongst each other, and eventually they get their ass beat because they can't come together. But then the whole theme is that the Mandalorians, who are always bickering amongst each other, they are stronger together. Many thoughts were had. Anyway.
Yeah, I gotta say, Dave Filoni versus queer black women, the beef continues. You know, and who knows, maybe it's intentional that Ray's not there. I think that makes, I honestly do think it makes sense. However, I just gotta say, David, what are we doing? It's becoming a pattern. Where's Ketsu? Quickly.
Okay, Ray Sloan showing up in the last episode of The Mandalorian a la Luke Skywalker in season 2.
My Joker.
She'd be like, guys.
Cheryl Lee Ralph as Ray Sloan.
Shut up. Also, I don't know if this is true, but Pablo Hidalgo, I believe, tweeted about being like, a character I created as a joke is now in The Mandalorian, and I'm almost entirely positive he's talking about Brendel Hux.
That is so fucking funny.
No.
Also, I love that they did cast the guy who played Armitage Hux. Oh my god, what is
Domhnall
his name?
Gleeson.
Yes.
Domhnall Gleeson's brother, yeah.
His brother to play his dad. I'm like, oh wow. Oh wow.
That's kind of a read to his brother. Wait, if I got that phone call, I'd be like, hey, wait a minute.
Well, no, I mean, it's not calling him old. Like, this is still, what, 10, 20? This is, 15 years. This is at least 15 years before.
I know, it's just so funny.
No, but
God.
if tomorrow someone was like, hi, we want you to play your brother's dad, I would be a little bit miffed, but only a little bit. Anyway, outside of Brendel Hux's flop era, the other thing about this episode that I thought was really fun was hashtag all of the reveals of them going down to Mandalore, especially like the fuck ass little pirate ship. That was so slayful. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I really do love the little like fucked up guys. I was thinking that they were the spies.
I hope not.
Because like they were on the ground, and how did they stay on the ground for so long? That being said, I do think it would be fucked up because I did think that they had some really cool moments.
That would be, I hadn't considered that, but that would be really like interesting because yeah, when they were like, we're here, and I was like, huh, I'm a little bit confused as to how y'all manage that, but okay. But then yeah, I don't know. I don't like a spy plot in general. Not because I think it's necessarily bad. It's just like not something that I tend to enjoy. So I didn't even think about the episode title all that hard. I was like, oh, they're talking about the Imperials. Sweet. And now I'm like, were they? Am I gaslighting myself? What is the truth?
Yeah, I will say that, like, I don't know. I think that it's just, I feel like I'm fucking like paranoid. I feel like I'm like some type of, I feel like I'm Palpatine being like, all right, which one of you crusty guys is the spy in this? Is it Axe Woves? Is it the armor? Is it, I don't know.
I really hope it's not the armor.
I hope it's not the armor. That'd be so fucked up.
Number one, it would be shitty writing. Number two, the discourse about Mandalorian religion would become absolutely ass. If it's the armor, I'm gonna kill someone.
Well, because here's my argument and my thought on like kind of, here's my 3 different arguments, and it applies to, it's basically the same argument, but you could apply it to any of the parties who could be a spy. Is that Bo-Katan has that speech where she talks about how she like conceded to Gideon, and like how, you know, sometimes you have to do things, like difficult things, things that might not be the right choice, but in the moment it feels like your only option. that could apply to literally any of the parties, and that's like so fucked up, and I hate that, and I'm like, oh god, please, I hope it's just Elia who is the spy, and this discourse was meaningless.
Did we see the whole thing about how it may be a reference to the Book of Exodus?
What?
I'm sorry. I don't mean
Yeah.
to turn this into Torah corner, but
No, I that's why I'm asking, because there were a
What?
lot of people who were saying that the spies, it may be metaphorical.
Okay, you're gonna have to walk me through this one.
Okay, hold on. Let me look.
Hold
Twitter.
on.
Hold
Oh,
Oh,
All
we're
right.
getting the Torah has been broken
I'm
out.
ready. I have my
Mandalorian-
copy of the Torah in front of me.
Mandalorian. I'm looking on Twitter for Mandalorian spies Moses. Hold on.
The armor was leading. You think the armor was leading
The
everyone
title.
to freedom in a nice fucking dress to freedom?
The title could reference the spies Moses sends across the Jordan to check out the promised land. That's what most people are referencing.
Wait.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't with the bit. Because I was literally just talking about before we were recording as a joke. I said I don't think Star Wars is secular enough, and now I'm like, oh shit, is this gonna
Moses-
be like? This is gonna be the next like Church of Rock Easter play.
No, Grogu's about to be crucified, guys.
Grogu is about to sing some Chumbawamba as he's being hoisted upon the cross.
the 12 spies were a group of Israelite chieftains. I mean, you could kind of see it, especially because there was the whole thing of them like.
No, now that I'm thinking about it, I absolutely see it.
Yeah.
however, here's my only thing is that if we're gonna do Exodus, I want the plagues. Okay, it was just Passover. I want the 10 plagues in Star Wars. I don't care how we have to make this happen, but I would like Bo-Katan and Moff Gideon singing the 10 plagues from the Prince of Egypt movie.
Yeah, and everyone's like, is Din Djarin Joshua? Thoughts? Anyways,
That's one of the stories that I'm actually like least familiar with.
Din Djarin fought the Battle of Mandalore. Get it?
Yeah.
Just like Joshua.
Yeah, not
Anyway.
here's my other thing also. So the big monster that came out, that was the Mythosaur, right? Like it's gotta be.
No, absolutely not.
No, that was
That was not
definitively
the
not the
Mythosaur.
Mythosaur.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah,
kind of
that
see
was-
its head. It was not mythosaur shaped.
Yeah. That was just
Oh.
some fucked up guy.
Oh, I thought it was
That's
the
me,
Mythosaur.
That was
actually.
the Mythosaur's ex-girlfriend.
I do think the Mythosaur will be coming back in the final episode, though. I do like. I
Okay,
don't think they're gonna
Like a big
Ed
kaiju
Herring.
fight?
kaiju versus Gundam fight versus Grogu
No,
and the Gundam.
No, I'm saying this creature and the Mythosaur are gonna beat the fuck out of each other.
Ooh, fun!
That's
I love
my new
Pacific
goal.
Rim.
I can't wait for the Mythosaur to beat the fuck out of Moff Gideon like the Hulk throwing Loki around in the first Avengers movie.
Okay, wait. Speaking of, why did Moff Gideon want Din specifically? As soon as he saw he didn't have the fucking Darksaber, why is he like, let me take him specifically?
Personal vendetta. I did see one tweet. Someone was like, "Oh, they're gonna mind flay him and make him into the Winter Soldier." I was like, "We can't keep doing
Okay.
that."
I also saw that tweet and I was like, that would be hilarious and also kind of crazy because I would love for us to have Din Djarin Winter Soldier-esque and for them to just slowly start making Din less and less of a protagonist because that would be hilarious.
Over the next 10 seasons of The Mandalorian, he's going to become a worse person.
No, and this is how Din Cobb can still win because Cobb, the Winter Soldier will occur, and then Cobb will be like, Din? And then he's the only, and that makes him snap out of it. Anyways.
No,
Does
I'm
Cobb
not.
Vanth know his name is Din Djarin?
I'm also not going to indulge this Din Cobb Stucky AU. I
This
won't
is
do
not
that.
Claudia.
I won't
Claudia, he
do
does
that.
not know that his name is Din. He only knows him as Mando.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm just saying. I did see a lot of people being like, "Oh, it'd be really sad if like he started to forget Grogu or whatever." I'm like, I don't think they've never established in canon that like people who get mind flayed lose all their memories. Like Crosshair doesn't lose all his memories.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
he just sucks.
He just like gets brain damage. Like
Okay, but however, it was kind of implied with what they did to Dr. Pershing that was going to be the end of him in a lot of ways.
That is true.
And I'm like, here's my other thing. My other thought too is like, I feel like the whole thing with Dr. Pershing, I'm like, now why would they have done that if it wasn't going to be relevant later? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah.
I think that what's realistically going to happen is Moff Gideon is going to put Din Djarin in some sort of little jail cell, and it's just going to be like, you stupid fuck. And then Din's going to be like, they're going to come rescue me. You'll see. And then they do. And then he's like, Bo-Katan, I missed you so much. And then they both take off their helmets and start kissing.
Oh, wow.
And then she knocks him up. And that's my fan fiction.
That's great. See, I was thinking perhaps the reality of the thing that could happen is that Moff Gideon has decided to frame one Din Djarin for helping him get out of jail.
Wait! Oh fuck! Oh
Because-
shit! Carson
because-
Teva versus
Yeah,
no,
because Elia is like, oh my god, they know that your bitch ass got out, and he's like, okay, well, this ties up nicely. Heart emoji.
That would make me very.
Oh my god! Okay, this is the Rangers of the New Republic is gonna be Carson Teva and Zeb hunting down Din Djarin.
This is
I do love the idea of us having to, in canon, see Zeb be like, I have to hunt down Din Djarin like he's a dog. Like, that's the plot of the show.
It would be me versus the Din Djarin girlies who stan him, who would be like, I don't like anything that like is anti Din Djarin. I hate that, whatever, but fuck you. If you all come for Zeb, you better not miss.
Mystery Spodcast breakup era.
You would turn against Zeb if he was hunting down Din Djarin? Would you?
turn-
I want you on the record now.
I don't know.
Yeah, yes or
I
no?
don't- Why are you making me choose? Please, Dave Filoni, please.
Wow.
Life is full of hard choices, Claudia, like whether or not to see Megan, a choice you consistently fail at.
Here's the thing: if I see Megan at this point, now it's become a bit like I can't
If
give
you
up
if
now.
you saw Megan, all this could be absolved.
No.
Anyway.
The
about
Mima War arc
Mandalorian.
could be over.
Much like Paz Vizsla, I must stand against the tide.
Stand against. Last time I saw him, he'd fallen over. I'll just say this about Paz Vizsla's death that I thought was like honestly so fucking funny to me was because he beats up all the little guys, right? And then the Praetorian guards come in and he doesn't land like a hit. They really do just like demolish him in seconds.
I mean, I do enjoy that because like the only times we ever see the Praetorian guards really fight is what The Last Jedi, and then they're just like standing there in other places. Like they're supposed to be like elite. We never actually see them beat ass. So now's the time.
They tried to throw hands with Ezra, but Ezra was like, I don't think so.
That's Ezra surviving both Darth Vader and the Praetorian guards. Slay of him.
Because he's that bitch.
That's what being in Mace Windu's lineage does to a motherfucker.
So true, so real. At the beginning of this podcast, and the middle, and pretty recently, we talked about the Arinda Price bust. We talked about
Yes.
on Etsy how there was this bust of Arinda Price from Star Wars Rebels, and how funny
Yeah,
it was.
the one we keep joking about hitting each other over the head with.
Exactly. Guys, it's in canon. There's the Grief Karga bust.
Oh.
Grief bust versus Arinda
Price
bust.
bust. Fight.
And
Grief is clearing.
That I don't mind getting hit with the Grief Karga bust.
I feel like that's like positive. Like you've done well. Now it's like being knighted.
I do love the idea of Grief Karga like using that for that exact purpose. Like he's like, you are getting an upgrade, so I'm going to now tap you on the shoulder with his bust of my head. However, I do also like the idea of replacing all of the lightsabers in Star Wars, yes, all of them, with either the Grief Karga bust or the Arinda Price bust.
It's
You
like
must
it's like
wield
blue and
one.
red lightsabers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can someone
No, because
do-
the idea of like Trilla Siduri and Fallen Order whipping out the two Price busts.
I was just about to say
Rule of
when
the
you
fate.
when you when you pick your lightsaber color in Fallen Order, you get to pick between a Greef Karga bust and a Price bust.
Okay, but imagine Darth Maul in Duel of the Fates with a double-sided Arinda.
I do also like the concept for like Vern's light whip is it's fully just like a meteor hammer with a Greef Karga's head on the end.
Oh, I am obsessed with that. I love the idea of it, like, there always being Greef Karga busts, and even before Greef Karga was born, and then he was born, and they were like, you're the man from the bust!
Okay, I love also the idea of Arinda Price being like, good morning, I'm here to work for the Empire, and Sidious is like, wait a minute, I know that face from somewhere. No, because the idea of, like, bleeding a kyber crystal is just, like, re-chiseling the Greef Karga bust to be a Price bust.
Oh, it's getting dark. Okay, wait. Side note. I would like to talk about, this is not the canonization of Captain Pellaeon because his voice appears, like, for 3 seconds in Rebels. I'm obsessed with the idea of Pellaeon right now because in canon, he was never really Thrawn's right-hand man at any point, only in Legends. And so he's kind of like a weird Thrawn fanboy, and everyone's like, oh, you're the one who knows the most about Thrawn? Like, which is kind of like me in any room, to be honest. Like,
Claudia, not to interrupt you,
Claudia Pellaeon.
Not to interrupt you real quick, but his canon appearances is not just Rebels. He does appear in in Thrawn Treason, so
God, I'm sorry, you're right. But he's not, but what I'm saying is he's never the right-hand man that he is in Legends. He has a different role.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and now everyone's like, oh, like, you're the Thrawn expert, whatever. And he's like, really? I'm just a fanboy, but I'm faking it till I make it. And like, and I just love the fact that Thrawn has left him for a younger man every single time.
Can I talk about my enemy Jon Favreau and his silly little moments in this episode that made me go like, Jon Favreau, like, I'm like laughing, but it's like hiding how upset I am with Jon Favreau. I mean, I get it. If I had the chance to make a Star Wars show, I would also make my fun little like self-insert. But does your fun little self-insert deserve to get that much screen time? Like, he had his little moment with Axe. They had their little Az moment there. R.I.P. Az, though. That was short-lived. And then he spends like the last 5 minutes of the episode like being like, you guys, I'll hold them back. And then, dies. Which one, like, Paz, what the fuck? You have now just orphaned your son. The son that you guys, like, risked your lives to go save from a giant fucked up dinosaur dragon. But yeah, what, Jon Favreau, I'm in your walls. I mean, I get it, but also I feel like that was unnecessary to spend the last 5 minutes just showing you fighting for your life and then getting killed.
I think that Paz is really funny as a character because he fully is just Jon Favreau being like, I want to be a Mandalorian, and they just kind of like let him. And I would also like to say R.I.P. to, what are we calling Paz and Axe? What is their name?
Az.
Okay. As I'm just saying this, and I find this quite funny. I do love the idea of Axe returning next episode and finding out Paz has died and being like, no! Like, he's like really upset, and they're all like,
oh my God,
you knew this guy for fully 2 minutes, and you were like such an ass to him. And he was like, we were in love, we just didn't have the time.
Casca Reeves has started swinging.
Not fucking Axe Woves now adopts Ragnar.
No, because Ragnar, girl, you deserve better. Sorry to Axe Woves, you flop. Like, I know it was supposed to be like dramatic, but was anybody else giggling? Was anyone else sort of like laughing all this time?
My ass off.
I may have chortled.
Well, because then he hits the ground with this like comically loud thud. Like, okay,
he's really lying in like the Family Guy death pose.
he totally did. Okay, wait. Paz Vizsla played by Peter Griffin. Hold on.
Paz Vizsla takes his helmet. He takes his helmet off and he's Seth MacFarlane.
No!
That's-
Paz Vizsla, Ted, Peter Griffin handshake.
That'd
The
be
mouse
funny as
from
shit.
Sing.
Oh my god. Guys,
Do we know
Paz
did
Vizsla is
Paz
singing on a
Vizsla-
little ditty right now. What's that
Guys,
about?
did Paz Vizsla sing My Way before they went on this battle? Like, quickly.
I feel like here's the thing. He definitely would.
To be fair to Jonathan Favreau, which I don't do quite often, he like decided to have like a little Easter egg cameo in The Mandalorian as Paz Vizsla in the first season, and I know for a fact those bitches were not planning it out as in detail in season 1 about who was gonna be where and doing what. So like even in the credits, like the guy who plays Paz Vizsla is not John. John might voice him still. I don't know what the logistics are on that. But like it is just some guy, and like do I think it's funny that that character, that's like if Trapper Wolf was suddenly like super important and like was like had an episode where it was like Trapper Wolf and Carson Teva like playing Jenga for an hour. Anyway.
Okay, I would love that though, is the problem.
Here's my thing is that I'm like, you know what? Great on them for taking a random Club Shido and making him into like sort of a more normal. Like he did some plot relevant and character relevant world building relevant things in this season instead of just simply vibing and then throwing hands in the Book of Boba Fett with Din. So I did like that. And to be honest, if I was Jon Favreau, as Jess said, I would do the exact same fucking thing. I'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, is my character gonna like have a badass fight with Praetorian guards and do all this shit? Absolutely, I would. I absolutely would. I mean, I will say, like, I mean, we're all having a good and fun time, but like, it was a genuinely good episode. Like, I had a great time. Ups and down. I mean, this is my opinion, but like, I had a good time. There were some things that were ridiculous, but that's whatever. But like, it was a genuinely good episode. Rick, you never lose. You are always great. You are my bestie girl. I will say this was the episode that they screened at Celebration and then like expected people to shut the fuck up about for several days, and I was like waiting to watch this, and and everyone was like, "Oh, this is crazy. This is insane. This is whatever." And then I watched it and I was like, yeah, I mean, I was excited and I had gasps and jumping out of my chair and shit like that, whatever. But none of it like surprised me that much. I was like, oh, Brendel Hooks or like the various things. I was like, yeah, this is definitely where the plot was going. Like, this is what I predicted would happen. Like, I'm not surprised by any of that. Are y'all surprised? You were shocked? I was not shocked at all. And also them being like, oh, surprise, Mandalore is livable and we've been using it to hide an Imperial remnant. Duh! Of course they would hide an Imperial remnant on places where people think nobody lives. Yeah, obviously. And also, just from a side note, like from a world building perspective, I like the idea of showing that like in these early years, even before the First Order picks up whatever, that like all of these Imperial warlords who are fighting, there were people like Moff Gideon, and if you read the books, there's a lot of people like this. There are people like Moff Gideon who are like, I'm going to be the new emperor and I'm going to make my special thing. And like they keep kind of, again, that whole thing of like them versus like the unity of the whole of the Mandalorians and whatever. But like his whole thing is he's like, yeah, I'm doing my own special little thing. Like fuck these. I know these bitches think that I'm like helping them, but I'm really not. I'm like doing my own special little thing. And that is very typical of that time period of them all like fighting and having their own little mini empires. And also, I just want to put it out there. I fucking love being right. Because when they mentioned Thrawn in Ahsoka mentions Thrawn in the second season, and then in the trailer they're like, oh, you've been hearing rumors about the heir to the Empire and all this stuff, and I was like, but it's not actually Thrawn. They're creating all this stuff in absentia. They're like, oh, we'll give it to Thrawn, whatever, but he's not actually there. He's not there. They're doing it, whatever. And I said that when they had all the insignias of the 7th Fleet that people noticed, and earlier this season when Bo-Katan says those are a lot of Imperials, those are a lot of ships or whatever, and it was like, she was like, and I was like, who has those kind of resources? I was like, yeah, the 7th Fleet, and it's a whole consortium of people. Anyway, I like being right. Anyways,
I was completely not shocked that Mandalore was like livable and they were doing fuck shit on it, because that's what they did to Geonosis. It's literally the same exact thing. Like, I'm sorry that you guys forgot about my good bitch Quick Clack, but he was in the trenches long before Bo-Katan was. So get it right.
See, the fucking Empire, they're like, well, if it ain't broke, don't
Literally.
fix it. We're just gonna do the same thing again.
Fucked up of Ezra that he just showed up and said, I'm gonna call you Click Clack because I can't pronounce your name. Love Ezra to death. Dude, come on. That whole episode. Flop everywhere. Anyway, I also, sort of to bring up, like, my thoughts about the episode, I thought that it was really good. I think the one thing that really got me was, I was like, now why the fuck is Grogu here? Why was Din like, let's bring Grogu? Why were we doing that? He barely has any control on IG-11. I know it's just for the kids who love Grogu, but I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, holy shit, Grogu is about to get gunned down in like an assassination. Like they're gonna like assassination by firing squad Grogu. Why is he here? Guys, I can't get over it. That shit is so funny.
And also, like every 2 seconds, Din is like, get to cover, get over there. I'm like, why did you bring him down here?
It's not like they like haven't left him behind before. Like, Din has done that. He did that a few episodes ago when they went to fucking save Ragnar's ass. But this time he's like, I will go with you, and so will Grogu. It's just like, what the fuck are you thinking, Din Djarin?
I also, though, imagined a significantly more comedic scene wherein Din is like, I will go with you, and so is Grogu, and Grogu, having just learned the ability to speak, is like, no. like actively protests.
This is why it's not looking good vis-a-vis the armor being the spy, because Grogu is with the other Mandalorians and not with all the other children and other folks. That is my one other argument where I was like, okay, it's kind of weird that Grogu is not with everyone else.
But the armor went back to the fleet. And if she was a spy, she would know
so
that,
maybe
like, there's an Imperial fleet coming to beat their ass. Why would she want to be up there?
Well, see, I was thinking more they were coming to beat their ass down there, because it's all of
But he says at the end of the episode, he's like, fucking release the interceptors. You know what I mean? To go get them up in the sky.
That's fair.
No, I find it very funny because they're like, okay, we're all going to go down there to find out if it's safe to bring life onto and then live there. And Din is like, this is the perfect place for my toddler.
Din is doing that, like, holistic parenting where, like, you let your kids sit in the dirt and the sand and let them eat whatever, because you're like, they need to introduce those particles into their body or whatever. He's like, Grogu needs to experience radiation poisoning in order to become fully developed.
I let my child eat sand on a public beach because I want his immune system to be functional as shit.
I will also say them being like, we have to take back Mandalore, we're going down there, whatever. And I'm like, great. So I know there's people surviving there, whatever, but like, can you grow food there? Like, is it habitable? Is there radiation? Like, do you have the resources to like establish civilization? I know you guys have guns. That's great. But does any of you know how to like grow food, or like, do you like, I'm like, hey, so it's inhabitable? Like, just because it can support life doesn't mean it's habitable. Like, maybe you need to gather resources to terraform at this point. It's like, maybe you should stay on the planet where you can have like agriculture and shit that's alive. I'm just saying, like, great that you're taking it back. And they're like, yeah, we'll just show up with just us. And they're like, okay, and do what? I have many questions.
You don't understand, Claudia. Mark Wahlberg's Mandalorian OC is on the other side of the planet right now, making potatoes or whatever the fuck he did in The Martian.
Do you mean
Matt Damon? Matt Damon.
Oh no!
Not Mark Wahlberg.
Oh no! Okay. My favorite white people. Guys. Live white people facial blindness reveal. I didn't know those were two different people until just now.
No, you thought Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg were the same person. Okay, I'll be so real.
Mella's like, I love when Mark Wahlberg bought a zoo.
No, that would be a very different movie. Oh, wow. I've always thought they look a little alike, so I feel that. However, I did stop thinking that when I was like 12, so.
Okay, well, you don't have white people facial blindness. I'm sorry you have that ability. I don't.
I'm sorry.
In summary, rip as.
Rip as.
Rip as. If the next episode starts with Axe Woves getting, like, gunned down, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Axe Woe shot out of the sky.
A cruel Grogu's thesis.
I'm
Anyway.
gonna kill you, Claudia.
Now it is time for everyone's favorite segment, Name That Ship, where we celebrate the medium of fanfiction by either you guys submitting a fanfiction, we have a form in our show notes, or we find it ourselves in our journeys through the archive of our own. A fanfiction about Star Wars that has either an interesting concept or an absolutely wild ship, because there are almost an infinite amount of characters in Star Wars. This is not to make fun of anyone. This is to celebrate the medium and also to celebrate the just sheer possibilities that the Star Wars fandom has, and the things that one can find if you explore. And also, our podcast kind of started because we would hang out and just do these deep dives on AO3. So we want to share it with you. This fic, it doesn't really have a ship in it. It's just a funny concept. This was submitted by Sarlacc Ussie on Tumblr. A fantastic name. It is a part of a series. It is for general audiences. It is a crossover between Star Wars and this other piece of media. It only has this one Star Wars character and then this group of characters from this other thing. And the tags are humor, crack, the blank are a walking disaster zone. The blank are working for the blank. So the thing from other thing are working for the thing from Star Wars. They are still adorable little things. Character A won't be a problem much longer. Alternate universe. Its fic is called No OSHA Compliance. And the description isn't really going to help you that much. I will say there's a part of this that I can't wait to read to you when it is revealed. Let's make some guesses, shall we?
So based purely on vibes and like my love of Brian David Gilbert's Unraveled series, I'm gonna say that it's Mario Brothers.
It's not, but you're getting there.
Okay, so is this like an animated thing?
It is.
Wouldn't it be? I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's animated. I'm like, I don't know the Minions.
It is the Minions.
Oh my god, are you serious?
You're joking.
Would you like to guess what the Star Wars character is?
I don't know who the fuck. Well, okay, no, Lore. The Minions always follow the most evil person. Is it Chief Palpatine?
Yes,
oh my god!
It is the Minions. The Minions are a walking disaster zone. The Minions are working for the Sith. They're still adorable. Palpatine won't be a problem much longer. So this is a part of a series called Minions to the Star Wars.
I think I've seen this before.
Holy shit!
I'm sorry, I'm just I'm lost in the fact that Ollie was like, wouldn't it be fucked up if it were minions? And then it was.
Wait, Sidious takes a break from his part in the Naboo blockade to check the Minions' progress on his prize Death Star. So they're building the Death Star. The galaxy is about to be short one very despicable Sith Lord. The Minions are known for serving the most despicable beings they can find and for getting them killed. I thought it would be a good idea to grant Palpatine the privilege. This was the result. So basically, the Minions accidentally get Palpatine killed.
Okay.
The second fic is how to properly mourn a Sith Lord. It is also about Chief Palpatine and the Minions. Darth Maul is there. The Minions are there. The Minions have a new boss, Darth Maul. Darth Maul needs a hug. Palpatine tries to cheat death. The Minions are going to make that difficult. Maul's horrible childhood. Minion feels. The Minions make Maul better. A little. He's still getting there. Alternate universe. Having heard Sidious is dead, Maul comes to see for himself. So, I think this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I do like the idea of a Maul Despicable Me AU. where he's like Gru.
Yeah.
Despicable Mall.
Yeah, basically. Also, the note that I couldn't wait to read you was notes. The Minionese should be understandable, but if you want exact translations, I pulled the different phrases from a few different languages using Google. So
Wait. So
yeah. Also,
Huh.
Darth Bane and the Mun are referenced in this. It is a crack fake for sure, but I think it's absolutely hilarious.
The Mun do low key look like white minions.
The Munions?
Winions?
Oh wow,
Anyway.
Claudia. That was like, oh wow. I'm like flabbergasted.
I can't believe I was like after there's so many like rich animated characters and animated universes, and I can't believe the first one I thought, wouldn't it be funny if it was the Minions?
This is
I
like
feel sick to my stomach that this is the one I got
this is
that
like
fast.
one-shotting Lego Ninjago last week.
Spoilers for last week's episode of RuPaul's Pod Race.
Oh, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that because I did.
That was crazy.
Oh, wow.
That was cray. Are you guys ready for something else that's kind of wild? And just like, okay, I need to preface it. So here's the thing. I am a proprietor, an enjoyer of one MCU ship. And it is M'Baku. So that is Namor and M'Baku, you know, from Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. The person, I was looking just for fan fiction in a tag in Star Wars, and I find this fic, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what else has this person written? They have written one of the most like, how do I even put this? Calling it heinous feels hateful.
I would say challenging. Because I know what fic you're talking about, because we both read it.
Yeah,
because we were both like, what?
There's this crazy M'Baku fic that this person also wrote. So I'm just like, oh wow, this person, like, their mind is so powerful. I'm obsessed with it, and I need to know how it works. So are you guys ready? This is a fan fiction called Indulgence. The relationships are character A / character B, character A / character C. Additional tags are character A / character B / Bo-Katan mentioned. Plot, what plot, porn without plot, utter self-indulgence. A species of creature, freeform. Some explicit tags. Pre-episode blank. This creature, sex, and enthusiastic consent.
Okay.
I'm glad the consent is there.
Yes, and the creature is not like a creature. This is a creature that like has sentience. It's just like
Okay, so is the creature one of the characters?
Yes,
Okay.
it's character C.
The
I was about to feel like,
Zillow
is this like,
It's
'cause I
not
was about to-
okay.
is it, sorry, you guys go ahead.
No,
Is
say
it
what
the
you're gonna
Zillow
say.
Beast?
It's not the Zillow Beast.
Is it a Rancor?
It's not a Rancor. However, I like where both of your heads are at. I'll give you this. It is not a creature from Star Wars.
Oh. Is it Mothman?
It is not Mothman.
In what world are you making like a monster list and you're like Mothman or Rancor? These are similar. Okay.
I don't know.
Would
A
you
werewolf?
say that this is? Would you say that this
on the-
this creature is like fuckable in like a Bloodborne type way, where it's like it hurts your brain to look at, but it's still like you want to make out with it?
Okay.
So here's the thing. I'm not much of a monster fucker. However, I totally like in terms of like monster fuckery, I think that this is more. It's not quite tame, but it's not crazy.
Okay. I have an idea. I have an idea. I feel like this is a character who it's like they're like a Trandoshan or like a Wookiee or some bullshit like that.
No.
Okay, can I ask you
Okay,
to do
so they
something?
are like an actual. Are they?
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. So This is a Star Wars character, but AU that they are a
No.
monster not
So
from
this
Star
is-
Wars.
This is what I'll give you. So there's a first ship.
Oh, the
then
creature's
there's a
not from Star
second
Wars.
ship.
Sorry.
The creature's not from Star Wars. One of the
Okay.
members of the first ship is doing nasty things with this other creature.
Okay. I would
I'm
like to
obsessed
ask you a
with
clarifying
this.
question. On a scale of Tom Hardy's Venom to
Mhm.
Ebritus, Daughter of the Cosmos, where are we falling on the monster fucker scale?
Probably closer to Tom Hardy. However, once again, like drifting closer to the middle where it's like I get why people find this kind of creature sexy. I don't personally. I find them kind of scary.
Is
Would
it
you
like
describe
the
them-
alien from Alien?
Is it Cthulhu?
Not Cthulhu. That is much too scary for me. Think about
Cthulhu
my
is too far close to Ebritus.
yeah.
Oh my god, you guys
Think
are
of
not proper
my-
monster fuckers.
Think of my roots, my kind of education and history, and what kind of monsters I would have encountered.
Is it like a fucking like a some sort of legendary? Is like a minotaur or some bullshit?
Yes, it is a minotaur.
It's a minotaur!
Okay,
Are
wait,
you
is it a
serious?
specific
It
minotaur?
is a minotaur. It is just a minotaur. In the notes, this person did say. In the notes, this person did say, that they were kind of inspired by Astrius from the Hades game.
I was gonna say I was wondering
Oh.
if it was him.
Okay. So wait, so the Minotaur is character B?
The Minotaur is character C. So there's a
Okay.
ship
Oh.
with two Star Wars characters, and then also
Okay.
the Minotaur fucks one of the other Star Wars characters. That's
Okay,
one of the
okay,
characters on
okay.
the ship.
Are
Is
the
it-
two
is
Star
it
Wars characters are they two men?
Axewolves?
Axewolves is one of the characters.
Okay, is he the one fucking the Minotaur?
No. However, I do believe they have fucked. I did read this fanfiction.
Are
It's
they-
kind of
are
crazy
they-
and
are
fun.
Okay,
Are
wait,
they
wait.
men? Are they men?
No.
Is this
This
is it
person's
okay? So it's a woman. Is this a woman? Axe like knows? Because I have a horrible fear about who it is.
Yes.
The armorer?
Is it?
No.
Is it Casca Reed?
It's Casca Reeves.
No!
Okay,
You know
let's
what?
go. No,
You know
no,
what?
'cause
no,
this, no, because
You
this
guys-
fic,
you guys
this
are all-
fic,
you guys are all gonna judge her. Good for her.
no,
I
no,
too
because
would-
I'm
I
not.
too would fuck the Minotaur. I said what
No,
I
because
said.
I'm not judging her because I read this fan fiction because I saw it. I was going through the Axe Woes tag as you do, and I was like, whoa, pause. What's happening here? I read it. So here's the premise. So the Minotaur is an ally of the Mandalorians. Like he's helping them like do stuff. This is like before the Eris episode. So like they're on Trask or whatever doing some bullshit. He is like, oh my god, I'm here and I'm very sexy. Him and Axe have definitely boned down big style. However, Casca and Axe are in like this kind of like relationship, low-key a throuple with Bo-Katan, but this man is so sexy and wants to eat Casca Reeves out. So she's like, okay, damn. And then Axe is like, isn't it crazy good? And she's like, yeah. And that's the fan fiction.
Okay, I'm obsessed with that. Also, in the meantime, I did go into this person's account. Holy shit. Also, they have written what I think may be the only Din/Black Chrysanthemum fan fiction.
Again,
Din
good for
slash
him.
Black
Also, they've written a lot. They've written their biggest fandom is Supernatural. They have 71 Adam/Michael fics.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me in the fucking least. Because here's the thing: the writer of Rough Day, surprisingly, is not Timothy Zahn. Their username on AO3 is Guardian Angel Cast. Every single time, it all comes back to Supernatural. It always does. I'm obsessed with their fucking mind.
Oh, I need to get in contact with this person.
No, literally, I'm
immediately.
obsessed. Like, when I tell you, they are like a visionary.
Their mind is huge. Like, but we are laughing here, but I'm also like, yeah, good for them. Absolutely.
Because here's
Oh,
the
this
thing,
is
the
kind
fic
of-
is really good. Like, it's good.
Also,
I can't-
I'm
I
just
won't
I'm just
deny
gonna
it.
say it. If you as a man are like, I wouldn't get tongue fucked by the Minotaur, that's your problem. Okay? Careful not to injure your knees on the way down from the dizzying heights of your moral high ground. Me and my girls will be enjoying ourselves. Thank you so much for joining us this week for RuPaul's Pod Race. Episodes drop every Sunday, but for updates, Star Wars news, and more curse shit, be sure to follow us on social media at RuPaul's Pod Race. And if you want to ask us a question, you can send them to our TikTok Q&A, Tumblr Ask Box, or email us at RuPaul'sPodRace@gmail.com. And of course, if you really love the show, please rate and review it on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or Overcast, and tell a friend who might be interested. It really helps. May the Force be with you, and don't criff it up. Waka waka.
Waka waka.